The coloured fella. The black mate. The black boy. The coloured fella. Yes. My first day at primary school, I sit down. I've never seen so many white people in one place in my life. Across the table from me is a blue-eyed, blonde-haired girl. She leans in and she says, "I don't like you because you're black." Thinking back to that these days, maybe it was a sandpit moment and she liked me. That's what I like to believe. What does it mean to be mixed race? Well, if you let it, it will mean whatever the people around you make it. I don't describe myself as black, I'm mixed. My mother is white, European, Caucasian. My father's black, African, Nigerian, Yoruba to be precise. Growing up, as soon as I left my home, race became an issue. The last time I was in Nigeria, I was with my father and we walked through a busy market. From start to finish of that walk, people were just shouting out or calling to me, "Oyinbo, Oyinbo, Oga Yellow." Foreigner, white man, foreigner, Mr. Yellow. "Excuse me, Mr. Yellow." "Hey John now, Oyinbo. Come on, foreigner." I'm not considered black in any way, shape or form there. Mixed at best. White, foreigner, different. They let you know. Here in the United Kingdom, I'm bracketed as black. So growing up here, more than I grew up in Nigeria, that affects you. You know what racial profiling means. I've been racially abused by policemen. I've been racially abused by all sorts of people. I've been called nigger, packy. I've been called black cunt, black bastard. So this thing of identity is for you as a mixed race person to grab hold of yourself. This is something I learned. You can't always say if it's not black, it's white. There are many shades in between. And some of those shades are beautiful. When I was a kid, I wanted so bad to have a high top. My hair was just too soft. It would just get up to a certain point and then just flop around. What I really wanted, if I could have really wanted, even aside from the high top, was the slant. But that was just impossible for me. But I also had a stage when I wanted a middle parting with curtains, like down to each side. I even wanted to have that experience of putting your hands through your hair like that. I used to see the kids, like the cool kids, do that. They'd shake their hair out of their eyes. I didn't have any of that. Those points, I didn't fit in. And sometimes it was difficult. It felt difficult to find my place. I was given black. You're black here in England. People will call you what they want. I had to make an effort to grasp the identity of mixed. Who says you have to be anything? Black, white, or whatever. What you'll see a lot of the time is a mixed person identifying with one side more strongly than the other. Yeah, that happens. And that's okay. Embrace whatever identity you want to have. Your identity is not just who your mother and father is, it's the environment around you, and you take from that environment what is given to you. But it's nice for me to try and make an effort to see both sides of who I am. I enjoy the African side, I enjoy the English side. Don't let anyone define who you are, especially if you're not comfortable with that definition. I went to play football in the park with my dad once. I'm kicking around and there's some kids from the estate behind us and they're playing and we go to join them. The kids start going to my dad. Like all of this like stereotype African like ooga booga stuff. And my dad just looks back at them and he's like, back to them. We just diffused the racism right there. My dad showed me how to choose to understand someone's ignorance. I'm not saying that happened all the time, because I got into fights over being called a nigger and whatnot growing up. But I learned a lesson, and all those guys became my friends. Ride or die friends. Guys that if I were in a fight with, they would back me. And they were just ignorant. A lot of people were just ignorant. What I notice is that if there's an area where there's one race predominantly, ignorance is rife. Ignorance festers there. I've seen ignorance both from the black side and the white side, both at times very ugly. I'm one of those people that can bridge and help change that, one person at a time, one encounter at a time. That's another great thing about it. Also, I recognize some people are just curious. I had kids come up to me and say, "Why are you brown?" And sometimes I feel like adults want to say that to me too. So what does it mean to be mixed race? To be in both worlds is a beautiful thing. The way you view yourself is in your control. And who cares how other people view you? Thank you so much for checking out my video on what it means to be mixed race.